These lines here, because they have arrows on them, so they can be at the ends or in the middle, or can point to any direction, may have double arrows. In any of these situations, it would indicate that they would be parallel. These lines here, as you can see, meet at a 90-degree angle. They are known as perpendicular. Okay, name the following types of angles. So this one here is an acute angle, and that is less than 90 degrees. This one here is obtuse, and an obtuse angle is between 90 and 180, and this one is a reflex angle, which is greater than 180 but less than 360. And this last part here is talking about naming angles. If I was to try and describe to someone to make sure that they're measuring or looking at that particular angle there, I would always use 3 letters to describe it. So I would start off with A, I would then have B, and I would finish up at C. So I'm essentially describing the path of the line forming the angle. So I would say angle A, B, C, and I would have a hat above the B. I may see this symbol, angle A, B, C. Either of those would indicate the angle shown there. And obviously you could also have C, B, A, or angle C, B, A. But the important part here, as you can see for all of these options, is that B is in the middle, and that is where the vertex of the angle is. When you're showing angles, always make sure that you are showing or just indicating which one you're talking about. An angle generally, most of the time, it just has 2 lines. So it could be that you're trying to indicate someone's looking at this angle here. So always just put that circular part around it. Measuring angles. Okay, as you can see, we're now measuring angles, so we're using our protractor. If I'm measuring this angle, angle ABC, I place my protractor so that the baseline of the protractor is along this part, this arm of the angle. I make sure that, that this part of the protractor is on the vertex or point of the angle, and then I can measure this angle here. Now you'll notice that there's always 2 scales to a protractor, an inside and outside. Because we're starting at this baseline and we're going up to this line, it means we need to start at 0 and work our way up. So we can see that this angle here would be 39 degrees. Okay, second one. Again, we're using the inside scale, and I can see that that is 130 degrees. It's all the way around here, so that's 130 degrees. Reflex angles are a little bit trickier because, as you can see, if I just spin this round, oops. The protractor doesn't actually reach the whole way around. So what we have to do is we would actually measure, oh, you can't do that, you can't make it a full one. What we would do is we would measure the smaller of the 2 angles. Okay, so we're going to measure this smaller angle outside here. Okay, so we're measuring this angle, and then we would subtract that value from 360 degrees. So this time I have placed my 0 along this line. So I'm now looking at my outside scale, and I can see that that is 100 and let's say 114. Oh, maybe my protractor's not quite accurate. Let me try that one more time. I'm going to change that to 115. Okay, so if that angle out there is 115, then my angle I'm actually looking for is 360. Take away 115, which is 245. Drawing angles. Again, we need our protractor. So it doesn't matter on which side of the line that you have your protractor. I just choose to have it on this side. So again, make sure that the target part of the protractor is on the end of the line accurately. We're measuring 40 degrees, so this is where 0 is. We're following up to where it says 40, and gives us that mark there. You would then move the protractor and join it up with a straight line. Obviously you would use a ruler for that. A 120 degree angle, again marking or putting that on there carefully, measuring marking 120 and using a ruler to draw that. As with measuring the reflex angles and drawing them, we also have to draw the smaller part, or the acute angle as it would be. So 360 take away 300 gives us 60 degrees. So we're going to be drawing a 60 degree angle, which is very straightforward. Oops, no, I want to go this way around. Let's make that a bit smaller. Okay, so I'm looking at my outside scale here, and I'm looking for 60 degrees. I then draw my line, but rather than marking the angle of 60 degrees, I would actually mark the angle of on the opposite side. Oops, I didn't do any of my marking up here. That's my angle there, and that's my angle there. Okay,